how even though you can be teaching the same thing, different students come out with different answers.
It's a really nice campus. Like it's a lovely place to be, but it's also the students are great. You know, I think they see that staff are there to help them progress and kind of move forward, not just to moan and to kind of remind them to do work, and to be able to have that kind of really kind of quite an adult conversation with their learning and their development, and seeing them do psychology, because students don't generally know very much about psychology when they join, so kind of taking them on their first bit of kind of experience of psychology to help them find an element that they love is really good to see.
Students in the first year look at research methods, which is how and why and where psychologists do their research. They look at the 20 different core studies, which covers the breadth of psychology. They look at intelligence, so more biological factors that influence intelligence. Perception, so how children learn to perceive, or whether we learn to perceive, or whether it's biological. How the environment that we live in impacts on us, so things like stress, things like whether we live in a built environment or whether we've got lots of grass, the influence of colour, looking at territory and personal space.
We look at the benefits of exercise on mental health, which is kind of exactly it says, and obviously really relevant for most of us. But we kind of look at the kind of physiological and the psychological effects of exercise, and then how it just makes us feel better. Then we look at motivation, and we kind of look at more about how your self-esteem and confidence affects your motivation levels, and obviously around that looking at how we can actually improve those things. Then we look at personality, and kind of are there different personalities set for different sports, which is really controversial, because if you look at kind of any sport you need a range of personalities, but we know through research that certain types of personalities are more common in sport, which then leaves the ethical question is, should you choose your sport on your personality or your enjoyment level, which kind of always gets the students kind of really kind of interested in that.
3 exams at the end of year 2. The 3 exams are research methods, then the component 2, which is where the core studies come in, and then the 3rd exam is all the applied things, so that includes mental health, crime, and the options, so whether it's child or environment or sport. One of my ex-students is working towards her clinical psychologist qualification. One thing that our students always enjoy, which is not necessarily a trip but an enrichment opportunity, is we have our Life Behind Bars conference, where we get ex-criminals and people who've worked with them to talk to our students. If you're interested in why people do the things that they do, and that you're keen to work hard and that you're interested, then you know, psychology is very flexible, and we get a real range of students. There is some maths involved in psychology, but it's not, it shouldn't scare anyone. It shouldn't be the thing that puts you off. We start from the very basics. All of the maths is kind of data and data analysis, so it's a bit more meaningful to them.